Good morning, everyone. Welcome into Monday's live stream. Bitcoin is going down yet again. What's new? Not that much, honestly. We got rejected. If I were to zoom out just a little bit to the hourly, we got rejected off of the trend line that we drew before I went away for the weekend. And so we're not really that surprised that we're continuing to trend downwards. It doesn't look good on the broader markets right now, but we'll get into that in a minute. We're going to talk about decentralized science. We're going to talk about the portfolio challenge. We're going to talk about someone who came out stating that the Federal Reserve should do a 0.75% interest rate cut this week. That's contrary to the broader market, which is expecting a 0.25. We should go ahead right now, actually, and open up the Fed futures and see if this individual had an impact on what the market is predicting for a rate cut. It looks like the market is, in fact, now predicting in 2 days, 60% chance of a 50 basis point rate cut instead of right after the CPI and the PPI reports that came out last week. The market was very set on a 0.25% cut. So we'll see. It's going to be exciting. The market's going to be volatile, and I am expecting a huge sell-off immediately after. Well, within like 72 hours after the rate cuts happen. I'm expecting a pretty big sell-off. You got on a plane and Bitcoin went down again. Thanks. You're welcome, Zach. It is the curse that happens. Every time Patrick gets on a plane, every time this investor gets on a plane, Bitcoin seems to go down. So you come look on the broader scale for Bitcoin. Yeah, I mean, this is clear as day. We're not getting back up to the top of the range here. We're in fact riding this trend line down. I don't think that there's any chance we hold this bottom level of support. I think we've snapped through it for a flash crash down to this circle right here, which is not going to look good on the charts, but it is basically the same move as this one right here. If I grab the bar chart here and just go scoop and nope, delete that, and then extrapolate it down, this exact thing, I think, is what's going to end up happening. Something along those lines, right? In which we basically chop around here for a day or two and then flash crash down. Maybe it's even something like that. It could already be playing out, you know? It's very, very possible that it's already starting to play out. And I think we crash down to the support line that we've been riding the entire bull market, right? Every time we've had major pullbacks, we've gone down to this support line. 1, 2, 3, and I think this is the 4th time we come down to it. So I wouldn't be that surprised to see us come down to the lower to mid 40,000s on Bitcoin to kind of end out September and close out a historically terrible month. We'll see what actually ends up playing out, but I wouldn't expect some glorious uprising here. I think we have to wait until October before anything like that happens. I'm curious to see your guys' opinion. Good morning, Zach. Welcome in. Happy to have you guys in here. It's Monday, baby. It's Monday. We're back from visiting my friends, my college roommates. It's our annual reunion. We're finally back. I'm here. I'm locked in. I'm ready for a good week. We have BLOX coming out very soon. BLOX is the platform I've been building for the better part of a year at this point, and I'm very excited for the release to be happening in the very near future. It's been a work in progress for quite some time. The broader DeSci market is in fact down 5.1%, which no one should be that surprised about. If Bitcoin goes down, DeSci is going down. We're leading the charge downwards right now with Amex, ETI, Track, CTI, Solve. So all the projects that I don't pay much attention to, unfortunately, they are the ones leading it downwards. Noble Blocks, which I do pay a lot of attention to, and I hate to see that it is continuing to lead the charge down. We have Genome's Dow up 20% on the day, but over the last 7 days, you can see it's been just choppy, up, down, up, down, up, down. So we're kind of just in line on a flat week of -5%. And Vita Dow, flat. Most things in here right now are pretty damn flat, which is good and bad. I want to see some movement, but you can't expect anything to be moving when Bitcoin, and more importantly, the Bitcoin dominance is not holding up. Now, one thing I did want to point out about Bitcoin dominance, and I don't know for sure, and I honestly don't know where I could go to look into this right now, but I don't think this is a true measure. I was thinking about it over the weekend. I don't think Bitcoin dominance actually looks like this. My rationale is that a lot of the market has gone into meme coins. And a lot of these meme coins only live for 30 days maximum. And so I don't know that this indicator, this Bitcoin dominance market cap percentage of 57% is truly accurate. I think that there is a lot of the market in meme coins, which I doubt are being taken into account in this indicator. So I'm very curious to see if there is any kind of metric out there that's actually showcasing a true Bitcoin dominance, right? Like market cap is 2.11 trillion. There's billions of dollars in meme coins, in the small ones, because there's not 14,000 coins. There's probably 14 million coins out there. And so I would venture to say that it's not super accurate, and I would like to see what the more accurate data is when it comes to that. My neck is so unfathomably stiff right now. Now, what have you guys been watching for the last week? What have you guys been paying attention to over the weekend, rather? Is there anything in the market that's been making some major moves that you guys want to address or talk about? I'm curious how the microcap watch list performed, the one that we made on Friday. How did that do over the weekend? So we still have Dion up 32% on the week. Kudos down 5%. Okta up 7, Dynex down 3, TARS down 7, Open GPU down 6.6. So kind of mixed feelings on this. Dion absolutely ripping over the last week, but still having a pretty big pullback the last couple days. Kudos kind of retracing some of the fall it had. Not super shocking. I was talking to one of my friends who's big into Chainlink. So like when I say he's big into Chainlink, I mean like that's pretty much the only crypto he holds is Chainlink. And Chainlink, like, yeah. He was super interested in Dynex. When I was explaining Dynex to him and kind of showcasing the different records that they've been able to beat, he got very excited about Dynex. And I've not seen him get excited about any coins, like almost ever. He got really excited about Noble and went super heavy into the launch on Noble. But that was out of mostly just understanding that it was pre-sale season and he'd watched what happened with Axon and didn't get into Axon, so he hopped right into Noble. VaultFi TGE is Friday the 27th. Oh shit, is it really? Let's go. We got about 10 days until VaultFi and the CYG Casino. That means the CYG Casino is coming out very soon. The Cyclix Casino. Because from my understanding, they weren't going to do the VaultFi thing until they were close, at least ready for the Cyclix Casino. So Cyclix right now sitting at that, I don't like Dex Tools. I wish I was on Dex Screener. Sitting around that $2 million market cap right now for Cyclix Games. I think it is a easy 10x from here. Back, I mean, honestly, yeah, up to like $2. I don't think that it's even that speculative of a play. The casino is pretty amazing, and once it goes out, it's an easy thing to onboard people into. Like, you go look at some of the leading casinos out there, and they are trading in the hundreds of millions of dollars when it comes to market cap, because it's easy to value casinos because you see the revenue, you see the revenue share, you see everything, the referral links, you see people live streaming it, and it's just a simple play. So the casino I'm super excited about. I think I have like 10 grand in Cyclix right now. So let's hope that thing does a quick little 10x pop once October starts, which we're only 2 weeks away from October. Boom. And then we can be back off to the races. Hopefully what we see is the portfolio start to do that 10x. Right now it's not doing that 10x, but if we could get that portfolio to do that 10x, then we'd be looking really good. We'd be looking spectacular because we're about a 20x off of reaching the goal, which I know sounds like an absurd amount away, but I do think that the positions in the portfolio are easy 20x positions. Like, I think Axon sitting at 18 cents, 19 cents is disgustingly undervalued. I think this is a $5 play in the making. So getting in at 18 cents. Let's just do some moon math. We got 5 divided by 0.18. You're looking at a 27x. So that hits that 20x threshold. Jupiter Swap, I think, does a 2 to 3x on whatever Solana does. And I think Solana does a solid 5 to 8x from here. So you're looking at like a 15x on that one. Dynex, 30 cents. I think it goes to $10. So that's another 20x, 25x, 30x. VaultFi. I'm probably not going to put VaultFi in this portfolio challenge, but VaultFi, I got like $1,000 into the presale. So that thing's going to rip. That is, I mean, it's a Ponzi. Don't get me wrong. It is blatant Ponzi, but gonna rip. The Ponzi's always rip the hardest. So many X's. So many X's. Yeah, a $790,000 market cap. VaultFi goes to 10 million, which is not that much, and you're looking at like a 12x right off rip. A $10 million market cap is not hard to achieve, especially for something that is literally just copying Syncus. And Syncus went almost to $1 billion, didn't it? What did Syncus get to before the founders stole all the money and ran away? Holy crap. So the price has got 3 zeros, a 1 and a 4. What's the total supply is 4.29 billion at 8 cents is crazy. Yeah, a $343 million market cap. That's nuts. 800 million. So the supply was probably way less than. 800 million is nuts. But look at the chart as to what happened to Syncus. Now, VaultFi, they're supposed to be doing real yield with it, but at first they're not. At first, it's going to be very similar to Syncus. They're supposed to integrate real yield over time, but right now the yield that's coming from VaultFi is purely inflationary of printing new tokens. So it's kind of similar to the Hex model. And Hex pumped like crazy and then plummeted like crazy. Hex is down a disgusting amount. Can we even get... Is Hex on Dex Screener, you think? Just gonna pull up like baby token. Oh, Landwolf. Down 12% today. Thanks, guys. Thanks, Landwolf team. Bullish on Landwolf. Oh my god. Is this the real Hex? $1 billion market cap? Oh well. Yeah, this looks like the real Hex. Ripped straight up and then plummeted straight down. So this is the fate of inflationary yield projects, because there is nothing there. There's no backing it. There's no reason for it to be there. It is just a Ponzi. So understand, they rip like crazy when it's pure euphoria, and then they collapse. So don't be afraid to grab your profits. Is VaultFi fair launching or had a presale? Had a presale. I probably can't even pull it up like that. Probably got to go. Had a presale. We follow each other. Just FYI. Presale.vaultfi.finance or .com. Vault-finance.com. So you can still actually apparently get into the presale. They're going to launch it anyways. VaultFi tokens listing price of 1/10 of a penny. We'll see. We'll see. I am not here to tell you what to do or what not to do. I am simply here to say that any kind of inflationary yield project pumps like crazy if we're in those types of markets that warrant people speculating on literal Ponzi's. Now, hopefully, and again, I've talked to the team. It's the same team that did Cyclics. It's the same team that's out there that I've worked with in the past. So I'm hoping that they are successful in taking it from an inflationary Ponzi into a real yield project based off of some of the stuff that's in the works, right? Based off of some of the other projects and DeFi plays out there that actually have real yield. It's supposed to be like an index fund on real yield, but it's a segue over the course of the next year or two to get into that kind of an environment. Now, the tokenomics, you can go look and like it is going to actually pay out that yield. It's just the yield is in that coin. And so if people are just dumping immediately, then you're not going to actually get any yield because the price is going to go down quicker than the yield, right? I think you can go look at stuff like Pancake Swap. Did Pancake do that? Was Pancake the one that did like aggressively did that the other cycle? One of the DeFi projects, it might be Pancake Swap, but I don't think it is. It might be actually, because it's now sitting at $1.70 and it was as high as $45 last cycle. But they paid you and incentivized you to use their platform in the token. And so it was an inflation-driven product like Pancake Swap in which you got real yield from it, but everyone just tanked because there was no real incentive to hold it. Now it looks like it's bottomed out and it might skyrocket a little bit, but ultimately it's not sustainable like that. So hopefully they're able to segue out of it, but we'll see. I'm bullish on it. Make no mistake, I do think it rips like crazy. A $790,000 market cap is actually nuts. But most of my portfolio and most of what I specialize in, my biggest winners, my biggest plays are these micro caps that have an actual reason to exist that I think could do really well. Like they have a real good product. Like one of the things was CheckDot. We made a lot of money on it. We made some good returns on CheckDot. It's since crashed pretty dramatically and I don't want to get back into it, but like we rode CheckDot very nicely last year. I think we got in, I don't remember exactly, but somewhere around 25 cents and rode it up to $1. So we made that quick 4x on it and then we dumped it. And CheckDot had a real reason. CheckDot was one of those auditing platforms that you can go and actually see, like on Dex Screener, they actually audit stuff, right? So if I go look at Noble, if you guys are enjoying this content, I see Jaden say thank you. Noble's probably the easiest 10x play right now though. I think it is way more than a 10x, but I would agree with you that Noble is one of the easiest multiples in the market. If you guys enjoy this kind of content, please hit that like button, scroll down, check out the description, make sure you guys are in any of the private channels because we talk about all of this stuff constantly. If you're interested in decentralized science, then make sure you're following here because we go live Monday through Friday at noon Eastern Standard Time. It was 9 a.m. and it might be 9 a.m. on Thursday this week, but we'll talk about that towards the end of everything. CheckDot was doing stuff like this, the audits. So you can, like, they were a token sniffer competitor, a quick intel competitor, a Go Plus security competitor. So CheckDot, it was microscopic when we got into it. It still is microscopic. A $1.4 million market cap. We rode it up to like 5 million, 10 million, and then we dumped it. And so those are my bread and butter plays, is coming and looking at some of these like micro cap watch lists. And these ones aren't as small, but looking and seeing TARS AI at a $12 million market cap when it has the backing of the Solana Foundation and the Google Accelerator program. I know the platform, the project is not spectacular. The AI isn't super great, but it works. And I think it's an easy play. And I mean, it's at the lows right now. It's at the lows of the channel. So if we do think it's going to bounce from here, this is one of the best spots to pick it up at 10 cents. Like watching Caspa, looking at Caspa go from 1.5 cents up to 20 cents. These are my bread and butters. So that's what I need to just stick with and not go into all these memes and random one-off coins that I know aren't going to do well. You go look into projects that actually do have the possibility to do well. And speaking of projects that have the possibility to do well, we got Ethereum chilling down on its support line for the bull run. So it had that crazy run up to 4,100. Now it's back down to 2,300, and it is not looking like it's reversed yet, but it does look like it's trying to find support. Solana, same type of thing as with TARS AI. TARS AI is following Solana, just not as expensive. And Solana looks like it is at the lower part of that channel. I do think we're going to have that breakdown from the 130 down to the low 100s, but we will have to wait and see. I'm just expecting us to not immediately rip upwards. I do think the end of the month is going to be pretty awful for the market, and so we're going to have that big pullback. Looking at Jupiter Swap, following Solana. Looking at Dynex, following the broader market. Looking at Caspa, holding very strong. Looking at BitTensor, still kind of printing that head and shoulders pattern. I don't think it's going to follow through, though, to the downside. ICP, following AVAX, truthfully, and then we got the TARS AI. But that's enough of the market update. Curious how everyone's portfolios are doing, and if you guys want to check any of these coins out and you actually want to look into stuff with me and do some technical analysis or some fundamental analysis, feel free to ask your questions and we can take a look at any of these projects out here. I do, however, want to address what Michael Barron said here. I've not yet watched this video, so we would be watching it together if you guys are interested in doing that. But Token 2049 in Singapore is currently underway, and a lot of the DeSci projects are there talking together and having conferences IRL to network and expand the entire industry. And so I don't get to be there, you don't get to be there, but what we can do is live stream and watch some of the content together. And so Michael Barron here, who I am in fact following, he's a biotech venture capitalist. Opinions expressed are solely my own and do not represent the views of Pfizer Ventures or Pfizer Inc. And so he is involved in Pfizer as well as decentralized science. And so he's saying DeSci needs a bit more evidence that these theses can play out. I spoke about it over a year ago at DeSci Berlin. Judgment Day will be coming quickly from investors, and the field needs to point to a few wins when that day comes. Now, I do think they have the wins, but it's not yet generating tons of revenue. It's not yet generating tons of profit. I think they're close, but he is right. And the broader biotech industry right now is experiencing a pretty large pullback. And when I was visiting my friends up in Boston, a lot of them know people or themselves are getting laid off from their jobs. And so the broader slowdown, I think a lot of it is coming from speculative fields like biotech and biosciences. So unfortunately or fortunately for DeSci, the broader biotech industry is having a bit of a pullback right now. We will see how that actually plays out for the entire economy, but I think it's indicative of just people going even further risk off, which is confusing because we're starting to experience some rate cuts here in literally 2 days. But I'm trying to remember I think it's just DNA. The ticker for, yeah, Ginkgo Bioworks, DNA. This was one of the like golden childs for the biotech industry on the stock market, and they IPO'd. That's not the price they IPO'd at. The thing is that they've just continued to fall, and so they've done stock splits or reverse stock splits, and so it's sitting at $6 per share, down a disgusting amount. This is pretty indicative of the broader biotech industry. This is a stock down 99%. 23 and me. I think they went live, didn't they? Or was it Ancestry? That's not how you spell it. Whatever, man. You don't want to see it. Whatever. What's the index for the biotech? Can you take my caps locks off, motherfucker? NASDAQ Biotechs, NBI. I should just know that. But the biotech industry has not yet recovered from the 2021 boom that it experienced. So it is definitely a lagging sector. You know, it's been going through a little bit of a rough patch. Little bit of a rough patch out here. Where's my energy drink? A nice Alani. But regardless, let me go ahead and play this video for you guys. I have not listened to it yet, so I am curious what they're actually saying in this video from VitaDAO. I'm going to turn my mic off. Let's go, Mohammed. Thank you for being here.
As I mentioned, there's never any data. So we invested in Hairdow before they had any data, which they presented in the morning. And so for us, the most important...
Something to add, Patrick?
Yeah, I mean, so the stage that we invest at, it's, as I mentioned, there's never any data. So we invested in Hairdow before they had any data, which they presented in the morning. And so for us, the most important thing when we invest is team and their vision. I mean, that's the case, I think, for most venture capitalists at this stage when they evaluate teams in other sectors. What I would say is perhaps a little specific to DeSci is that we're looking for teams that have both, sort of a knowledge and expertise in the sciences, but also in crypto. And I think finding that balance is the tricky bit. That's where the magic happens, right? Because you don't want people on either ends of the extreme, right? If you just have people that are purely focused on the sciences, well, then it looks a bit like a traditional science company. And in the worst case, you're stuck with a community of token holders that are just loud in your Telegram group. But on the other hand, if you purely lean into the the financial, the Web3 elements of it, then you don't really have any science either. And so I think for each team, for us, it's really understanding where are they on that spectrum.
Have you invested in any step to earn, sleep to earn, eat to earn?
No, we haven't yet, no.
Okay, so you're also seeking for some science and element.
Yes, yeah.
I know one of the use cases on the edge between blockchain and science, Longenesis, out of Crystal blockchain. They track and keep anonymously human data, medical data. Andy, do you know any successful cases that built on top of blockchain and useful for science, for data tracking?
Any successful use case, is it?
At least alive and usable, not the idea stage.
Yeah, I think if you have some projects, we'll be happy to take a look. Okay. But I haven't, I think we are still really, really early. That's why I'm hoping we can start this narrative and start this movement and, get more founders and scientists in and increase the...
Okay. You have Cointelegraph, right, at this stage. So let's continue a conversation from other angle. What kind of education do we need? Do Web2 science world needs to step into decentralized science, decentralized financial fundraising? What is clear 1, 2, 3 steps you can recommend to the industry, to the media, to the science, to merge those two fields?
So what the industry needs at the moment to get people excited?
What kind of education, what kind of conference? Yeah.
I think fundamentally the industry just needs, I think, a little more evidence that some of these theses can play out. I think if one just looks back, I think the creation of Molecule got a lot of people excited because that, and maybe I'm doing some other projects that came before in Injustice, but I think that was really one of the first projects that, embodied DeSci as a company. Then I think the creation of VitaDAO got a lot of other additional people excited, in the longevity space, but then I think broadly inspired a wave of new entrepreneurs to start BioDAOs in other areas. And now I just think we need a little bit more, some tangible proof points from these existing companies that this way of doing science can work, right? And that's why I think, again, in the morning, Hairdow presented on some of the progress it's been making, and I think, running an observational study with a piece of IP that they developed, which is shown to regrow hair, and planning to sell that through their online shop in just a month. I think that's an interesting proof point, and so I think will inspire the next wave of entrepreneurs to come in and take this field seriously and really see it as a potential solution to their problems.
And also visiting Vitalina City is organized by VitaDAO. It's one of the places where you can educate yourself and learn more about decentralized science. Andy, Luffy, any takeaways on how to merge those two universes that has very little small points?
Yeah, I think there's probably two things. I think like Patrick's absolutely right. There's like, we kind of need like the proof now, which will obviously just come with time. I think there's also just like general awareness that like, maybe for all the researchers out there that like they could maybe have this like alternative path towards basically like funding. But I do think like the proof is important, and like not just like anecdotal proof, but actually like, okay, if we're dissatisfied with like the capital S science I was mentioning earlier, that like we construct ways to like kind of like verify and like protocolize like the lowercase science that we're doing in DSci. I think that's also like really important. And so I'd say like those basically, yeah, like proof and awareness, right? You have to prove that this is a system that works. And
All right, so basically nothing. They basically said nothing. We need more evidence to see that the thesis played out, sure. Yeah, okay. They're all doing that. There's literally evidence all the time. I can tell explicitly that these four individuals, remember, we got Binance sitting here, we got Telegraph sitting here, we got the other two platforms in between these two, sorry guys. But Cherry Ventures and then whatever, Z something. I don't think they're paying attention. I don't. I think they're out here talking to some of the founders and just kind of like there collecting names and trying to get cool ideas. But I don't think they're actually in the trenches looking at everything that is coming out. Or they're just waiting for those quarterly reports. And I don't blame them. They probably have a lot going on their plate, but there is stuff that is happening. There is explicitly many, many milestones that are coming through. He talked a lot about HairDAO. HairDAO is leading the charge in a lot of ways when it comes to actually getting a product to the market. However, like we just saw VitaFast have a huge breakthrough in which they're actually starting to talk to distributors and actually getting some medicine out there. So wasting their time with garbage like CryoDAO. I know you could tell. So you could tell explicitly, and I'm not joking at all, when he was talking about like if you focus too much on the science, this guy, he said you're focused too much on the science, all you get is a bunch of angry token holders in your Discord. And yeah, that was literally CryoDAO. He was talking explicitly about CryoDAO. If you don't find a balance, you're never going to find a successful venture in crypto, because they're all so focused on using blockchain technology for XYZ use case that they think is the pinnacle of what they're doing, and they don't understand when they enter into this space that it is overrun with community members. The entire industry of crypto and Web3 is a community first member orientated thing. And what you're going to get are hordes of people who are just joining for the token. They're just joining for the potential to make money, and they're just joining to join a community. They don't actually care that much about the science or how to conduct the science or reviewing it, which is why you need to build out the proper systems and the proper protocols to enable for you to have that board of directors effectively who are researching these things and implementing the science, and then the other people there who are effectively just there to help spread awareness. Like most of us, the DSci Schillers chat, we're not here to conduct the science. We're here to spread awareness of what's going on. And so unfortunately, and it's been years of this, and they're still sitting there going, oh, we just need people to become aware, and we just need some of the science to play out all the way, and then automatically people will become aware of the science. No, guys, it's been years and years and years of you guys doing the same thing, and it just doesn't work, because that's not how you navigate crypto. And I don't know all the answers to everything, and I'm not even claiming to know all the answers to everything. everything. But I do think that I have a better finger on the crypto markets and the Web3 industry than a lot of these people do when it comes to the community side of all of it. But that's just my opinion. I want to read what the rest of Michael here says. As a strategic investor, we have some wins to point to already in the form of collaborations and other work with VitaDAO portfolio companies. On the financial side, we have a positive ROI, although lagging versus index. So how do we drive financial returns? Yeah, the only reason that it's even up on the financial side is because we had massive KOLs talk about it. Let that sink in. The only reason that DeSci right now is up is because we had influencers talk about it. I'm not saying influencers like me. I'm not saying influencers like Lucas. I'm not saying influencers like Jolly Green Investor. I'm saying influential people, influencers, key opinion leaders like Brian Armstrong and CZ and Vitalik. Like it or not, those are KOLs. And they're for sale too. Investors in the space are diverse, primarily Web3. They will wait for returns, but a 5 to 10 year exit path is too long for them by itself. The HairDAO example of more immediate consumer revenue is an example of balancing the need to demonstrate near/long term. Important to remember, DAOs are not securities and do not return capital, but they can buy back tokens with their financial returns to drive price higher. I believe this will be the primary underlying mechanic, which enhances demand for the government's token. I disagree. To recap the current state of DeSci, investor base remained predominantly Web3, although some biotech investors have shown up. Misalignment in time horizons between investors, and movement towards balance of near-term revenue models to drive token price and attract new investors. I don't think there's a misalignment either. I think anyone joining into this space understands that if the roadmap for a project that they're investing into is literally 12 months long before they have any kind of results, if they're actually investing and looking into it, they know that it's probably going to take 2 years minimum to get anything out of it. But we'll see. I don't think it's a bad point. I do think we need more time for everything to play out. So I agree with the foundation of it. I just don't think that it's 100% spot on. And I think that's probably a lot to do with the fact that he's not really in crypto. He's at Pfizer working in biotech. So it's, again, opinions from another person who's not actually in the underlying industry. But that's all right. I could be wrong. There's always that, right? Knock on wood, could be wrong. Who knows? What's good, Truth? Welcome into the live stream. Happy to have you here. If you guys are not already following the DeSci Schiller's list that I have for decentralized science, you need to, because there's an extreme amount of content going out for DeSci right now, and so you're gonna get those updates. Everyone is showing off at Token 2049 in Singapore, and so it's very important that you come and look at what they're posting, right? Where's the vid? Bioprotocol. Facts. CTO of HairDAO explains how hair community massively increased the capital efficiency of hair loss drug development. So they had a big breakdown, and they are completing that little virtuous loop. Hell yeah. Where is the vid, though? Have you learned nothing? There we go, the live stream. So that's bullish. Ended 14 hours ago. It got 3,800 views. That's good. That's good. I'm curious, did they put it on YouTube? Because X is good for live stream views and not Molecule DAO. X is good for views immediately. YouTube is good for longevity. Aha, longevity. So they did not put it on YouTube. I'm sure they'll put the clipped one here. Will VoltFi do an airdrop? VoltFi did a pre-sale. Zach is saying that it's happening on the TGE is the 27th. I don't know that they're doing an airdrop. Oh, my neck is so damn stiff right now. WellShare Health actually did really well as well. From my understanding, I was looking in the Discord this morning, my Discord, or our Discord, I should say, and apparently their private group exploded over the weekend. Like a couple thousand new people entered. If you mean the presale airdrop game, then yes, I believe it's also at TGE. Cialis get caught in your throat this morning. JK, rip. Steve, mods, I want Steve out. Steve the Canadian, you are permanently banned from this live stream. Never again shall I see that name pop up here. Gone. Gone forever. Genomes DAO. If you've ever done genetic sequencing, upload your data into Genomes DAO. Whatever, man. I got to go through and look at all of the information that's come out recently. I have a lot of work ahead of me today. Took the weekend to go catch up with a lot of my college friends, and it was nice, but it also cost me to be behind the bar a little bit. Behind the... Your mods sleep more than Biden. I know. How long you been taking Cialis, Patrick? What the hell even is Cialis? Shut your mouth, huh? Get out of here. Come on! Who leaked that? This is rude. Who leaked this? I ain't do this. That's not me. That's not me. That must be the other that investor. Did you desci your friends? I did desci my friends. Get out of here. Now I gotta go delete my search history again. From my girlfriend's like, why are you looking this up? What do you mean? It was your clone. It was the long-haired motherfucker. That long-haired dude drinking too much soy milk. Has the DeSci space gone down with the market overall being actually driven by real data and studies? It seems it would have a year-round push. Yes, but unfortunately, nobody really pays attention, or truthfully, nobody really cares, you know? So the DeSci market is down drastically. Let's go look at some of them. Like, I mean, this is Noble, if that gives you an indication. One of the biggest projects in the whole space, Research Coin. If this gives you an indication as to the market being down. These are not light pullbacks either. From the peak, 72%. We'll look at Vita DAO. Vita's down quite a bit. Go look at Hair DAO, which had those great breakthroughs recently. Hair DAO. No, that's Trump's hair, not Hair DAO. Where is Hair DAO? Is it not even on this? How's that Hair DAO? Hair DAO is holding up pretty nicely. Hit a high of $50. It's down quite a bit, but Hair DAO is one of those ones that's doing really well, and it's still down 36%. I keep hearing the name Noble BLOX. Got to look into it. Steve the Canadian, where have you been? Is this your first time back in a while? Huh? Is this the first time you're back in quite some time? These live streams are becoming NSFW. I forget what that is, but I know I'm going to regret looking it up. Not safe for work. You're right. They've never been safe for work. I catch every stream. I think my comments don't show up sometimes. I agree. I've not seen you in quite some time. Noble BLOX, man. Noble BLOX. Gonna be one of the best plays in the whole market. Or my name is cooked. Actually, though. I mean, yeah. $350 million market cap. Noble BLOX hits $1. I don't think that's that far of a cry when I think there'll be 3 to 5 projects in the space that hit $1 billion market caps. I think it makes sense for it to be Research Coin. I think it makes sense for it to be BioXYZ token. I think it makes sense to be Data Lake, Axon DAO, and Noble BLOX. In my humbled opinions, I think those are some of the solid plays. AXGT, Axon is low-key leading the charge forward right now. when it comes to the decentralized science industry. Down 9% today, but it just had a rally from 10 cents up to 25 cents, 27 cents. So you kind of have to expect that. Hopefully, DeSci does continue to rally. Did my smash the like button comment show up earlier? I've been wondering. No, it did not. You almost clicked on a cuck chair meme coin. Not great. Don't want to be doing that. We're not promoting cuck chairs around here. Yeah, we got to do something about the portfolio challenge here soon. Something's got to break. Something's got to pop off. I'm still bullish on all my holdings, but unfortunately, they're all super concentrated altcoins. I don't even know that there have been altcoins that are doing well, you know? Let's go look at the categories. Liquid staking on Solana is popping off. Something just happened. We got gaming blockchains starting to pop off. We got AI agents. We got cat-themed meme coins. We got OKX Ventures Protocol, or the portfolio. We got entertainment, derivatives, Bitcoin sidechains. But over the last week, none of them are really popping off that much. In fact, everything else seems to be going down pretty bad. Crypto-backed tokens. How does that even make sense? What the hell is a crypto-backed crypto? A gaming platforms, roll-ups, TokenFi launchpads. Hey, did you share your How I Met Amanda story yet? No, truth, I did not. I want her to be here for that one, though. I think it'll be a good live stream later this week. She's just busy right now. She's probably the busiest that I've ever seen her right now. So when she's not, would love to do that. Because I think it's going to be funny, very entertaining for you guys. And it would be a good little intro. But overall, isn't Tether crypto backed by crypto? That's true. It might be. Can she market buy 100K into CYG? No, she will not be doing that. But I do think that we've convinced her to get into CYG. So I do think she'll be buying pretty damn soon. We have in fact convinced her to buy some cyclics. So keep your eye out. I'll let you know when she does buy so that we can send the price. Any questions for me, you guys? We have 2 days and 1 hour until the Federal Reserve makes the decision on a rate cut. Right now, it's a toss-up. Right now, we don't have a clear indication as to what we're going to get for a rate cut, so it gives them the opportunity to do whatever they want to do, ultimately. Yesterday, it was a 50-50 toss-up. Today, the market's leaning a little bit more towards a 50 basis points rate cut. We'll see what comes, but just know that we will be getting a rate cut, and the market is even further expecting. Oh my God, the market's expecting right now 75 basis points gone by November 7th, which is pretty crazy. By the end of the year, they're expecting us to be down at 4 to 4.25. So rate cuts coming pretty quickly. What are you expecting the market to do Wednesday? The market or the rate cuts? I'm expecting a 50 basis points rate cut. I'm expecting them to come in pretty hot. I think that everything is indicating that they need to be pretty aggressive with it. Actually, I don't know. I don't know, man. I feel like they can't come in and just do a 50 basis point. Because if they come in, let's look at the graph here. They raised small amount and then very quickly and then tapered it off. And so I feel like if they come in and immediately start slashing, it's going to scare the market a little bit. I think they have to do something like this. I think they have to do a little bit of rate cuts and then hold it constant at something and then do big ones when everything breaks. But I think that this would be the best case scenario for them, in which they do a little quick little steps down, right? So bring us back down to here, and then the next in November bring it down like 0.5, and then hold it. But I think they have to ease us into it. I don't think they can just come in and slash it. Yeah, I think a 50 basis point or 0.5% interest rate cut like is going to tell the market that they messed up and that they're scared. I think it incites a little bit of fear, but we'll have to see. Let's see what our good friend Meet Kevin thinks about him. Do you think he's got a video out on it yet? Oh yeah, of course he's not talking about that right now. He's talking about the assassination attempt on Trump yesterday. Looking forward to tomorrow's Doom video, LL.
Mark your calendar for Wednesday
Oh my
of
God.
next week.
That was so unnecessarily loud. No thank you. I'm reading the comments more than anything right now. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we can just continue onwards with the cycle though. I would really appreciate that. The American Dream now costs $3.4 million. I would like to see what anyone says. Yeah. Hopefully we can just continue forward with the cycle and get this big rally that comes after the halving, right? So we get that pullback and then some rally, and then that pullback and then some rally, and then that pullback and then some rally. That would be a beautiful sight to see. Whatever they do, I hope that it pumps our bags, because I am sick and tired of sitting here waiting for our altcoin bags to skyrocket. I'm still expecting late summer, early fall 2026 or 2025 top, hopefully, because I'm sick of waiting. Your time is your most valuable asset. Hopefully this was worth investing it into. I will see you guys tomorrow's live stream, 12 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.